What are the most successful methods that you've seen in illustrating or communicating transparency between not only the farmers and the buyers, but the buyers and the end consumers?
So the most successful tool I've seen so far has been sourcing tourism. So we do this every year. When I go visit the growers every year, actually the first 2 years I went alone, so I can establish my own relationships and understand what resources are available in these villages, which a lot of them don't have hotels or don't have the tourism set up for this. But then started to invite the buyers to travel with me. And it's amazing how much that worked, because then those buyers went back to their tea shops or their tea businesses and had their own intimate stories to share with their customers. And for some reason, their customers attached more to those stories than it just being a photo or a video, which are actually very effective. And that's a big part of our business, is capturing really high quality media and licensing that out to the buyers, which they can then use in their marketing. But nothing beats a personal one-on-one relationship that you can meet with somebody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead to that side of the room.
Thank you. Quick question to Mr. Mochitani. Yes. Yeah. I just wondering is when you do the solar panel, is on the shading, and what's the cost effective, and who make an investment, and how you calculate the return? Because every year I went back to China to give all the money to the fair trade and organic tea farmers, but we do have a challenge. It's how we allocate the money. Either we put an individual or it's a group to the tea association. So I'm very interested in the next trip. When I go back to there, we'll try to working with the farmers to try to use the solar system. So I'm just asking, what's the when you invest in the solar system in the tea farms, so what's the economic return?
Actually, I don't know about the China market of the energy. It's very different in every country. The utility and the power sales of the these rules and the system itself. So, like Japan right now is we have the system of the sales for these kind of the solar panel generated power to the utility. We have a system called feed-in tariff, which is the Europe are doing the same thing. So it's changes every year base. Like you can have like a 20-year contract of what you produce, and then you can sell at the fixed price. So the investments are like what I have started, that was starting from 36 yen fit price, which is very, very high. So it has a subsidy on it. This subsidy is based by the it's taken out from everybody. So this fee in Japanese family base of the electrical bill, there's written some sustainable something fee, taken like $1 or $2 from each family. So this is the adding piece of the investment to the this kind of the renewable energy buying. So I don't know what is in China the situation, but the first one I built was around 44 kilowatts. That's around how much was the I can't calculate it in the dollars, but
that's fine. Thank you. We just want to know is when we invest the money into the solar system combined with the increase.
So farmer can buy it.
Yeah.
And then also the energy investor can rent the the land from the farmers, and then they give the share to the farmers, so they can have like the rooftop of the plantation. Or tea association also can do it for themselves, but in Japan it's only for the Japanese, not the foreign country can invest in the Japanese power market. So you need to have like a Japanese company.
Thank you.
We'll go to this side of the room.
I want to thank all three of you for some wonderful talks this afternoon. I really enjoyed what you all had to say. My question is for Mochitani-san. I've been working in the solar industry for the last 12 years, and I've been involved in constructing a lot of solar projects. So I actually heard about the project that you had worked on at a solar conference a few years ago, so it's really funny to be sitting in this room hearing about it again. My question is, from the perspective of the construction process happening at the tea garden, I've built these projects, and can you just speak to some of the challenges of actually logistically building these solar arrays on top of a working farm? Because I can imagine that they may add some cost to the overall construction of the project. Yeah.
That is really, you know what it is, right? So it
Oh, yes.
takes,
I've
with
been there
the
and dug
tea
those trenches.
planted, with those structure to build, it's hell of the work. So, the cost issue for it, and then all the kind of like yeah, you're bringing up these panel on top of it, like 3 meter high or 4 meter height. It's a extra columns length, and then these chambers of the leaving space to enter this sunlight it's an extra fee, but the land use of the farmland, it's cheap. So, and then there is a good reason for doing this, and then also what I found from the solar side of it, it's not connecting to the ceiling, like the house use of the on top. That's remains the heat to the panels, because no air blowing in the behind.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, the ambient temperature
yeah,
issue.
so like I don't know about the Fahrenheit, but the 1 Celsius additional heat on the panel would create like a 0.4% drop of the power production on the panels. So if that's, we find really good with, this open air space with, these panels, production level is pretty high. So those comes with the returning with, investments, and the, the returns became pretty big, like IRR base. So with this kind of situation, I recommend for the tea is like there's a season for the replantation, right? So if you want to change it to some other cultivars, this is the time for doing this. Is good for the constructions. We find these kind of the difficulties. So we have like another advanced technology licensed, which were in Italy. So these guys were thinking about other resource than the tea, which what we were basically the same idea of the creating power by the to source to the city by agricultural people, which is like that can be the cure like the world. So bringing this up high, how to construct, and then more power generation, and then the automation shadings system, and then the automation sprinkler system with a kind of like collecting the environmental data, and then react with the artificial intelligence. That's kind of like a new next move. And then one investment can do like several kind of thing. This is good investment though.
Thank you very much.
And we have time for one last question.
Yeah, my question is for Elyse, and I was interested that you were using the Bitcoin as a medium of exchange. How do you deal with the huge, what do you call it, speculative rise in Bitcoin prices and the subsequent high level of volatility there? You know, if you're using it as a medium of exchange to try to use it as a currency, it's really, right now, it's not functioning as a currency, it's functioning as a speculative activity.
So I only own one Bitcoin, and he's a cute little Chihuahua Beagle mix. I don't own any other Bitcoin, and my company definitely doesn't hold any Bitcoin because of that volatility that you mentioned. So these transactions that we do, they happen instantaneous, and that's the beauty of this, is that it does happen instantaneous. So what happens is the money from our account, and when we receive orders, comes in a US dollar, of course, in our American bank account. We'll buy the Bitcoin, move the Bitcoin, sell it in the local exchange in the other country. This happens immediately. No change in currency. So everything is legal because it's a tax nightmare because you have to treat it like a foreign currency. So if you buy it and then sell it or use it at a different point when the value is different, you have to keep track of all those gains and losses and pay a tax, of course, if there's a gain. So my CPA is very conservative and has advised that we do not do any dealing in the holding, you know, and changing value of cryptocurrency. So yeah, I'm really happy. You know, a lot of people say, oh, you know, you've been involved in Bitcoin since it was worth $50 a coin. How much did you buy? You must be wealthy now. And I'm proud to say I have none. I only have the dog. You know, I probably have missed out. We've come across thousands upon thousands of Bitcoin in our business, and I could have held on to them and been extremely wealthy now, but I really don't want that to be my cryptocurrency story. I want my story to be a really feasible business an opportunity that is utilizing this technology instead of scaring people away from it. Because right now, a lot of people hear Bitcoin and they're like, oh, what about the volatility of it? And it's like, yeah, that's not the value of it. The value is in what it can bring to international business, especially with empowering marginalized people.
So it has to be, the fast exchange is the key there. Yeah, if you had held it, you know, you might be rich or you might be broke. Because they've been going up and down.
I didn't know this, you know, the transaction, but I get in it, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's basically, from me, it's the same thing. It's nothing changes. I get in the yen base, so I don't know about this Bitcoin thing, but it's just a transaction.
And he's happy because he gets 100% of the money. You try to use PayPal to pay him, and PayPal pockets quite a bit of it. So that's all the farmers care about, is that they're respected and paid, you know, 100% what they ask to get paid.
Yes, I get transaction to my account directly, and then, you know, just the bank told me you get this transfer from America. Someone named Tealet. And I said, yes, that's the matcha I sold.
Well, please join me in thanking this last panel.